matchups here, though. A little bit more for DRX. You have the Lucian lane in the bottom. You have the Galio that can neutralize the Orianna pretty well. And then you have that counter matchup for the Rumble there for Rich topside. Secure this first dragon.
Yep, not to mention the fact that Berserker is catching a wave towards that bottom side. So Handle is
They're fighting for this,
up
though.
Life momentarily. Life goes in, nice double pulverizes. The heroic entrance will come down. They're looking to turn on the bottom lane. As DRX with the flash forward, and Life will be taken out. That's first blood over to Teddy. And that is a great way to set up the Fountain Laser.
Yeah, Bulldog did not have mana.
I don't think DNF are going to be contesting for these.
No, there's just no level 6 for Life. He's only halfway there. Like, Andal doesn't have it either, but he's much closer. You can see that XP lead. They know they're behind there. They also know that trying to Nocturne ult into this fight without vision is just a fool's errand. And unfortunately, you know, this is one of the places you would have liked to pretty high chance.
Yep, teleport is up as well as, all right, we're going aggressive. Berserker does manage to land the Deadly Flourish, but this Unbreakable Will is not quite enough, as Life will be able to limp his way up and not going to be able to defend any sort of Drake take or anything like that. Bulldog still retains control of mid. I think DRX understand that they need more people here towards this top side of the map because Rich is now very, very vulnerable. No arm guard or anything like that to help him out, as Teddy will be putting on a little bit more pressure, having to respect the fourth shot here.
All it takes is one little team fight here for DNF to get right back into this game. I mean, they're ahead in gold right now, but I mean, this could really put them in full control.
Yeah, Rift Herald gonna get started up here. Dustbringer comes on through. There is a ward down already as Life gets behind them. Wind becomes lightning. Into the back line he goes. Equalizer comes through as well, as it's just melting them down. Life will be actually still alive here as Sponge takes down the Rift Herald, but in the meantime, it's Berserker that's threatening here against this Xin Zhao that's so incredibly low. These health bars, kind of crazy. Sponge electing not to use his smite on that one.
And once again, DNF with Cryo here. Teddy so far away, they want to wait for him to be the target before they look for the turn.
Yeah, Sponge is going to go in. Wind becomes lightning, does find Pyoshik here, but he has the paranoia. Into the back line they go. Tries to get Teddy, but he gets out of the way of it. Still, Rich is able to bounce his way between worlds to keep himself alive, and now they're lined up. Teddy still looking for an angle here, but doesn't have the culling anymore. And Life likely to get locked down. There it is. As soon as that Winter's Bite hits, the Lucian's so good at proccing it. And down will go the Alistar. That should mean that the Drake belongs to DRX and Soul Point too.
This is such a good sign for DRX. I mean, Soul Point is massive, but the fact that they're able to win 2 fights back-to-back where Teddy is untouched. The first time because they engaged before he was there. The second time because he reacts instantly, has an amazing flash dash away there, and does not actually get picked off. They turn the engage on DNF. When you have a control mage mid,
DNF can use that extra money in the coffers to deny Drake after Drake after Drake. As Paranoia comes down, they're looking for Sponge to be able to take him out here. Deadly Flourish is going to connect, but he's pretty well protected. Shockwave connects onto Teddy and to Sponge. The pulverizes there as well, and Teddy is just melted down. Nowhere good to go, and DNF, they spring to life. They will be able to lose life, unfortunately, there, as Rich is going to have to try and get himself out of the way. The flash will be utilized in order to do so, but now the Otacon should go over to DNF. That gold lead still there for DNF as Dudu throws down the ulti, but unfortunately he is surrounded. In comes Life, finds the Winter's Bite there as well, and Dudu is going to go down. This could spell an Otacon as Bulldog is towards that top side, teleport in hand, but a 4v5, do you really want to be going for that?
Scenario here, but DNF, yes, use the dragon to then pull DRX there. They are slowly realizing that is how they have to play this.
Oh, Teddy on a bit of a flank angle here, which is kind of awkward. Shockwave connects onto 2. The Equalizer goes down as well just to finish off Andal, and it is going to work out. No door anymore for DRX. As Yahoo able to use that Justice Punch to escape, but this will mean no soul for DRX. And the first Drake will be picked up by DNF. Those tempo vibes, man.
Yes, use the dragon to then pull DRX there. They are slowly realizing that is how they have to play this.
Oh, Teddy on a bit of a flank angle here, which is kind of awkward. Shockwave connects onto 2. The Equalizer goes down as well just to finish off Andal, and it is going to work out. No door anymore for DRX. As Yahoo able to use that Justice Punch to escape, but this will mean no soul for DRX. And the first Drake will be picked up by DNF. Those tempo vibes, man.
And without it, DRX played a waiting game.
In the meantime, we've got junglers doing battle with one another, but the fear is fantastic. Shockwave is even better from Bulldog. As Teddy's been exhausted, this culling is not going to be doing the damage that they want it to, and now Dudu has made his way into the fight. Equalizer still up and available. DRX need to be so careful because this Rumble is so scary. Still Teddy trying to go aggressive as Dudu is going to go down. The Equalizer's still doing some work, but this is the DRX show now. Teddy's just dead because he walked up the red carpet, but thankfully Rich is still there with the damage, grabs the double, and DRX find their first team fight win.
A mid-outer turret here. He's the only one alive here for DNF. He's going to get away with it.
He has the curtain call.
There's no way.
Yeah, sorry, curtain call doesn't actually do anything to a Braum. So that is going to be Baron. Still has the Equalizer up as well. So if this Shockwave is going to be found, it could be a huge deal. You can see DRX trying their very best just to spread out as Pioshik will have control of this area. The Glacial Fissure goes down, but it doesn't quite work out here. It is going to be that Infernal Soul locked up for DRX though, and DNF just not actually pulling the trigger on anything. Equalizer still up, Shockwave still up. And so a DRX, of course. Shockwave finally going to be used. There's the Equalizer. The curtains have been called as Andil will be sacrificed for the good of the team as Rich is going to explode as well into that pool of cinders.
This is a massive win for DRX, but I gotta give credit where it's due. The fight is lost. They lost the Infernal Soul. The game is also likely lost with it, but I love to see that we've seen massive improvements here in shot calling for DNF. And they're gonna get Otacon as well.
Yeah, this is the thing. This is making the best out of a bad situation, right? Because they were sieging the top inner turret, and as it turns out, I don't even think that goes down.
Waiting to see if Teddy steps too far forward or if that support jungle duo is also too far forward, contesting neutral. Pioshik caught.
Very awkward position here as he's exhausted, has to flash to get himself out of the way. Is there the flash pulverize from Life, but he doesn't manage to push Teddy back. Oh, it's a disaster in the end. They do get the combo onto Teddy, but that Maw of Malmortius means that it does basically nothing. And now the culling is a deadly back scratcher for Dudu, who's the last man standing. And as it felt like DNF had the initiative in these fights, they lose all of it and probably the game.
Yeah, I think this game is just simply donezo. Voidlings here going to help them start hitting this turret. The wave is just a few seconds away, and with these death timers, this certainly should be the end here of game one. A heroic attempt from DNF here, but DRX got Teddy ahead. His positioning was phenomenal due to now just one man against the world.
A little bit of desperation there as the buffed up Rumble on this patch, not quite enough to deal with the Fountain Laser in the end. As Life turns up, man, he's going to be kicking himself, right? I feel like Life has had so many better performances than from earlier on in the year, but that last play must feel terrible.
But you look at DRX, and not only this time do they have a really strong scaling AD carry, and Teddy will be able to position against us and has Spell Shield, but then they can utilize his prio to play through double globals. I feel like this time DRX have agency, which they didn't necessarily have that much in game one. Plus, yeah, not great in the early game, though, unfortunately for him in this situation, whereas Pantheon is incredible. And Life is isolated. They are going to clear this wave, and they may try to, with this stacked up wave, look for a kill. Yehu's also here.
Berserker can't get any of these minions.
Yeah. Bulldog is engaged.
Yeah, over they go. Teddy going to flash out of the way of the seismic shove, and Bulldog doesn't have a brush to run to. That's first blood going over to Andil, as Pioshik just a little late to this party.
And they did it without even Realm Warp. Yehu just came over here, and Life's like, well, I guess I got some of the XP, maybe a CS or two. I don't even know how much of that he got. Berserker will finally get the last four of these, really helps things out here for Dudu. He actually probably gets a Demolish proc here on the top side, so that will certainly help. As Andil's looking for the engage.
Yeah, and Sponge is already here. Bulldog absolutely nowhere to go. No flash, no chance. And Sponge very happy to tank up that turret. Dudu in between the turrets. And Rich is going to make it back to lane with about 50% health. That plate you were talking about does go over pretty far ahead of Rich at this moment in time. And so Pioshik will at least be able to get one of these, and in fact, should be able to get all of them.
He really wants to pull this off. Like, Sponge doesn't have ult, but he doesn't care.
Well, they can deliver both of them underneath this turret. And so without the ult from Sponge, I guess he just uses the Realm Warp instead to be a very similar tool.
Yeah, make a Pantheon ult.
Exactly. Build your own.
Wave and the Dragon instead. We have somewhat late Drake in this game at 9 minutes to go over. And it's just going to be a back here for Yehu. DNF I think they were teetering on danger there. Like, it looked pretty rough, but they've been able to, because DRX don't pull the trigger, they just kind of catch those waves down there.
Kai'Sa is a lot more formidable. We do talk about the... Oh, never mind. I just can't make these points as the Magnet Storm does come on through. Sponge going down so low. Andal as well doesn't have the Eclipse anymore. It's Teddy limping out of this fight as Yehu getting chased down here by Berserker and Life, but hits all the Qs. So Berserker finds a really nice angle there. Kind of like Kai'Sa into Ezreal-esque there. Oh dear. Just mown down by the stars.
Okay, well, that looked really good for a second, but he is then punished. Look at this player.
Yeah. He's like, yep, win some, you lose some, I guess.
Oh, man. Really survives. It's the Pantheon, though, that follow-up that trades this 1-for-1 as he has vision.
Yeah. And with Snatcher out of the way, and that is going to be Feats of Warfare at the same time.
As DRX have better prio here on this objective.
Dudu making a rotation over, though. The Unstoppable Onslaught is going to be there as he moves into position.
Life flashes back up.
Yeah, Voidseeker is going to connect with the Rune Prison. Does hold Berserker in place. Still Andal going to be going down alongside Sponge, and DNF just close in on DRX and shut him down.
Yeah, they have so much engage, and DRX just frankly did not respect it. Pioshik's going to pick up the eye.
DNF, yeah, they're standing on vision, but there's just not going to be a contest. DRX just electing to give this one up.
That's one of those moments where I feel like Coach Song and the crew watching backstage is probably going to be like, if you give over the prio, then obviously at that point you kind of have to give his life. So look for
Magnet Storm will be connecting here onto Sponge, trying to get himself out of this one, but I don't think it's going to work, and it doesn't. Life is going to be able to burn him down. The Hex Gates were also bringing Pioshik in, and this could just mean Otacon at the same time. This game is just falling out of the hands of DRX.
So quickly. And, I mean, they are going to try to get this mid-turret, and they should be able to, but I don't know if it's 100% worth.
Yeah, it is going to be the Unstoppable Onslaught there just to deny Andal's engage. But
feats of strength.
Yeah, feats of strength do go over, but Otacon is picked up by DNF, and that is going to mean a whole lot more. They also answer the turret, as Rich is also able to take down this bottom outer as well, so that will at least keep the competition up. Stop over for picking that one up. As Rich fighting against Dudu, it's a very long lane. No ulti up for the next 8 seconds at least. As Rich does need to respect this Q that's doing a fair bit of work. And look at this. I mean, I feel like Rich is trying so much harder than Dudu. But Dudu is still just winning. In comes Sponge, though, to try and make this an uneven fight. As Rich hasn't even used the ulti yet. There is no way that Dudu's getting out of this one as the ult picks him up, and down goes the Scion. Rich finally getting some revenge from this horrific early game.
I have to ask, why are we flashing the roll so much, Dudu? I mean, his teammates are rotating down kind of. Maybe they're making the call like, hold on, just hold them there for one more second. We'll come down and get the trap, because
be able to get his ult off in the right stages in these fights. The wall is going to be set up. DRX do have Sponge moving up, but Life is going to turn up as well. Sponge a little bit late on this play. The teleport to come in and bring Rich towards the fight. The seismic shove is fantastic. Sponge trying to keep himself alive, but it's not going to work as Rich is just desperately trying to get back to his teammates as Teddy and Andal just a little late.
Bulldog Weaver's Wall segment coming through, but instead it ends up being a really nice engage, and it's just these pinches on the top side that DNF have found on the side laners that have...
DRX do need to put in a lot of work trying to deny this Hextech Soul Point. It's going to be such a huge deal. And like you say, DNF with those tempo vibes, but that's what DRX are going to consider.
But look at this,
right now.
They just put Berserker on the Dragon basically alone.
Well, in they go. They do manage to eat Dudu's ulti as the Solar Flare is going to hold the Scion in place. It takes forever to take this guy down if they even can do so, and they can't.
Well, they have Realm Warp, they have Pantheon ult, so Starfall can also get into the back line, but DNF don't care. They're just going to look for this. And a potential turn. Dudu's already here. Late TP from Rich. Life on the flank.
Well, they're once again looking for Dudu as the turn does come in. The Baron has reset. Seismic Shove brings Yehu over to the rest of their team. Or Yehu, if I want to pronounce it correctly. Berserker gets into that backline as Andal also trying to get some work done. They lose the Rise, though, and the Leona's down as well. Teddy just trying to be a hero, but he's melee range with this. Scion is Rich! Oh my god, the savior once again here for DRX as Dudu might be able to kill him, but he has so many dashes, and it is just a top lane battle in the end, and that is going to be a stalemate.
All right, 4 for 4. Only top laners walk out. A lot of tempo lost here for DNF.
be started for all they know.
Berserker is starting it, as you say.
Yep, he is going to get on over there. Solar Flare is going to connect onto the Scion once again. They really want to be able to take down Dudu as Teddy finally does damage to him, but the Drake is just going down. This is Hextech Soul, DRX. You cannot just give this up, but they will anyway. The Grand Starfall does absolutely nothing, as now in goes Andal. There is the public execution to take down the Talia, and Teddy is free hitting. Life going down so low, but Teddy doesn't get hit by any of the abilities, and Rich is a monster. The Rune Prison is fantastic onto Berserker as well, and down he will go. There is the ace for DRX.
DNF bite off a little bit more than they could chew as they get the Hextech Soul, but then they try to opt into a fight. They use the Weaver's Wall here and go for the engage, but like you said...
Berserker is, oh my god. Yeah, this Ambessa is really a problem.
Yeah, I'm starting to also get a little bit concerned about some of these Bulldog walls. That one was a very defensive one in desperation, but that's
I didn't even see it. I'm not going to lie.
BOM and DNF are like, we got to somehow kill this guy. How can we do it? We have no prio. Elder spawns.
This is going to have to be a heroic fight here as Solar Flare not doing too much really as Andal goes in. Pioshik finds the backline.
Teddy?
Oh god, the orders from Teddy are massive. He flashes to get out of the way. The public execution connects onto Berserker. Rich, where have you been all year, you absolute god? As Dudu goes down and DRX, I think this should be able to, or maybe just the end of the game as Sponge just running towards Berserker as best he can. Needs a little bit of a better arm for that one as the seismic shove is likely to do a fair bit of work here, but Sponge is still going to be okay, and DRX are looking to close this one out.
Sponge super low, Teddy was low, but he just did not care. Like I said, they want to kill him, they got to kill him, but they just can't, Atlas, and he does so much damage. It's like diving a fountain. And they do not have a wave.
Yeah, okay, so it's not the end of the game just yet.
Here, Life's coming over, doesn't have flash anymore. It's gonna have to be a really clean fight here.
I mean, they have so much damage as this will just be secured by Sponge. And now Elder, even though these health bars are low, there's no teleport on Dudu. And so DNF, I don't think you can risk this one.
Ult. Maybe they could catch some of these members and split them and remove some of these buffs. This Elder just turned it into a brief Exodia here.
It can't be Exodia because they do not have the soul.
That's true, you're right.
But as close to as they can get.
I mean, I've always kind of, in my mind, put Life will have his flash eventually, I think in like 2 minutes, if they could survive through these buffs. Maybe there's a team fight for them. But what should happen is DRX, just with their wave clear, grind DNF down to dust.
Rich doesn't have GA yet. That is a bit of good news here for DNF.
And they're just trying to slow this advance with Hextech.
I mean, their composition really does not siege very well here on the side of DRX. Trying to get Rich up to touch this turret is difficult as Solar Flare connects onto Dudu once again. The Grand Starfall to bring in Sponge, but he's straight into the bouncy castle. It's Pioshik will get eaten by a dragon, and unfortunately, even when you kind of try to just throw your life away, you've got a Guardian Angel, you've got an Elder Drake, and they've still got 20 seconds of that one as, oh my, even the ricochets are just doing so much work here.
The wave is getting thin, but there's just enough here, I think, for DRX to end the Weaver's Wall attempt here, but there's too many minions.
Oh, public execution is supercharged out of the way of there as DRX still continue. And I think despite everything, DNF are not going to be able to make it work. Despite Hextech Soul, it's not going to be enough to save it as DRX keep themselves alive. On the Gen.G side, this is the most Gen.G thing we've seen ever.
Yeah,
right?
and like at this point in round 5, new patch, new smash, right?
Yeah, a little bit of evil. We wanted to see some new cool stuff.
Yeah.
And instead, they pick very Gen.G things.
Maybe it'll go to game 3 and they'll be kind of forced to eventually.
Well, Alex is not, he's gone to the Death Chamber. That's First Blood going over to Canyon Skarner, another one, which would have been crazy. As, yep, here he is. Seismic Shove is going to connect, though, onto Chovy, who does use the Emperor's Divide, but dies immediately. So really nice shove there from Calyx, and he read that play that time. Lahan's also here to lend a hand. Ooh, actually getting the Between Worlds out here as there's the flash forward from Chovy. Seismic shots, gorgeous! Into the Cyclone. Under the turret goes Gideon, but he is more than happy about that one as Gen.G will start up these grubs. We'll see how many they can get before Gideon makes his way over, but without Cyclone, it's going to be hard to fight.
Yeah, no Cyclone, and they have Tempered Fate plus the Impale, so It's just not a fight you want to take. So you got Chovy, but you lost the grubs for it. At the end of the day, one step closer to feats of warfare here. The Ruler's in the area here. This is a very risky start. We're going to have to see a Weaver's Wall.
Yeah, that's the teleport in as Kane looking for an angle here as in goes Canyon, but a little bit early as he flashes to get towards the Dragon. It is going to be secured. Tempered Fate to keep Canyon alive for a little while longer, but Ruler, I don't know what we're quite doing there as Between Worlds does come down. Kingen almost just kills him, but Ruler will be able to survive momentarily. Finally, the auto comes in and Nongshim wipe the floor with Gen.G in the Dragon fight, and Kingen may even be able to find another as Duro limps away with single-digit health. See, Kane is wondering whether he should get out of here or not, and I think I liked what he was considering there as the flash out of the way of the headbutt pole means that Kane will live, and first brick goes over to Gen.G. Nongshim hot in their heels, but not hot enough as it turns out.
This decision was interesting because they're like, okay, I don't want to die in the cross map, and then we can act first and kill Keen.
If they get in as well,
that's what
that's
I'm talking about.
much.
Like it's not only first brick that also goes over, but you use TP and they get 2 turrets because you used.
Surely this doesn't go down, right?
Oh, it goes. By the way, 3 grubs on Nazir with Nashor's Tooth. See ya.
Okay, well, never mind. And then there is a turret for the enemy team. All of a sudden, as Gideon is going to be able to get started on this Rift Herald, so at least there's that. One step closer to feats of strength as well. 1 point apiece.
They just
right now,
a 1,300 gold bite out of the lead from Nongshim from that play alone.
That's kind of ridiculous. And
now
they're not going to give this one up. Cosmic Binding does go wide, though, as Gideon is going to be able to lock this one down. Chovy makes his way in. The Weaver's Wall coming on down as Kingen bounces to the other side to avoid the Emperor's Divide. Beautifully done. And Gen.G's little engage.
This is Prio kind of gained by Gen.G, though, and they're pushing in.
Yeah, teleport from Keen as well as Lahan's Hex Flash not going to be helping him out there as the rest of Nongshim are grouped around where this Gwen is going to be coming out. Nullifies the Seismic Shove as the circle is like the Gwen's immune stuff is just a bit ridiculous. So Gen.G will be able to take this Dragon. One more objective. Whoever gets it gets the cool new Nikes. It's a Cloud Soul, you love to see it. As Gideon doesn't love to see that. 3 people in a brush. Deadly Flourishes have been pretty good, though, as Lahan's driving the Rift Herald, and the charge is going to come through. Now the curtains are being called as Lahan's continuing to do battle. Keen stays alive because Gwen is immune. And the curtain call means absolutely nothing. Kingen bounces into the Dragon Pit.
Yeah,
still just... One day they'll find him, though, and then they'll realize, I need to be an accountant. That's I mean, that's when you can figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, Warren Buffett, Elon Musk.
He really found himself.
Think about some of Chovy's ex-DRX members. How are they doing? They're doing pretty well.
Emphasis on the XD is okay. Keen, underneath this turret, will be able to take that one down. And Kingen, he's trying to get out. Will he? No. Oh, God, the burst damage is absurd.
The cross-map Otacon attempt here. Like, they do have Weaver's Wall. Calyx is rotating over. Maybe they can actually make this happen.
I mean, Canyon is here. It's still likely to be a 50-50.
Tempered Fate plus Impale. Watch out, Nongshim. Calyx is going to use the wall.
Teleport is going to come in. The Weaver's Wall, I don't know whether it's quite going to do enough as Otacon was kind of trapped in the middle of it. There's the Tempered Fate to allow Gen.G the setup as Keen just dives forward. The Impale comes down. The Otacon is collected by Nongshim. Gideon at least gets that one. But can they get anything more? That's the question. Cosmic Binding not going to work onto Calyx. Just slows him down a little as Chovy likes those rocks. If it isn't going to get too much more. So Nongshim snatch the Otacon away and get themselves those levels, the pedals, all that fun stuff. But they will lose this outer turret in mid lane and a bit more money because Gideon died.
Yeah, they got feats of strength too. If Ruler isn't here, maybe. Meanwhile,
Chovy just goes over the wall there momentarily. It looks like Scorpion's on the menu here. Seismic Shove delivers him. Beautiful chain CC. Nowhere that Canyon could go, decides that he does not want to flash.
Without Prio, but maybe they try for it. Calyx has Team Whip is not coming.
And Gideon's in base. He was on a reset. Does hit the 2-item spike, but not going to be helping them here for this second Drake for Gen.G. As he is going to show himself on this ward. Gen.G do manage to get that one down, but here's the turn. Down goes the Bard in the blink of an eye, and Ruler is just going to cook some eggs over that wall to get himself out of there.
Yeah, not the happiest doughboy this time,
but Gen.G instead just going to be pressuring this inner turret
Gen.G, you're like, while you think about it, I'll take a turret.
Well, Weaver's Wall is going to split this one up, but the turret does go down. Seismic Shove not going to connect as Canyon just goes on a bit of a ride. There's a Tempered Fate to set up on this Alistar, but he's not exactly an optimal target. They will get the Unbreakable Will. Increase that gold lead to about 1,000. I mean, this game has been so close, but also doesn't feel close.
No, exactly.
It's so weird,
I mean,
man.
it's like Dragon and Turret for Global Blue.
Well, Keen is trying to be immune, and it's kind of working as he does flash out of the way. Seismic Shove goes wide. The Cyclone there doesn't do too much, and they almost got 50%. 3.5 minutes on the Cloud Soul opportunity as Keen gonna get caught here once again, but he gets booped over the wall with the help of the Weaver's Wall. Goes golden just to avoid this curtain call as Ruler possibly out of position, but another Cyclone gonna get eaten by a flash, and the Emperor's Divide throws the Monkey back in. The Impale just going to deliver him, and it's a triple kill here for Ruler. Is it the pentakill time? Can he finally manage to take it away from his teammates? As Gio, I think, is going to be able to deny it. Calyx as well, not going to be going down without a fight. And Ruler, oh my goodness, he hasn't been overtaken by the Pentacola in his brain. He is instead just going to do the Baron.
And they're going to find Calyx anyways.
Yep, I think it's going to be enough here for Keen just to come on over and chase him down. But instead, the Seismic Shove is pretty good. They might need to employ Chovy to come up and help, especially with these Cosmic Bindings going wide. Calyx trying to take one before he does fall, and he's pretty scary on this Talia, but Seismic Shove not going to be enough, and that is going to be Chovy locking that one down, his first kill of the game.
I love how this game has kind of boiled down to Nongshim not making choices. Go immune, and then basically set his entire team up for success. Desperate Cyclone there, to say the least, from Gideon, who tries to catch Ruler, but doesn't really catch anything. Nongshim try to punish those choices, but are a little bit behind the 8-ball every time, as the stun goes down on the Kingin.
Yeah, he is trying to bounce his way out of this one, still takes the rock to the head, as Gio almost just dies. Tempered Fate right into the base with Ruler, who is just sort of hanging out with a Monkey. Magical Journey comes on through, there's the flash out, and Canyon, he can just drive his way out, decides against it, as now Ruler with the barrier. Pulverize comes on through there as Ruler is in so much trouble, does manage to take one down before he falls, but Gideon with no Cyclone has no way out. It's Canyon that takes down the turret as well as the Monkey, and I don't think they're going to need their Corki to break open the base here as Gen.G with an 8,000 gold lead, utilizing the last 10 seconds of the Baron. And with the top lane inhibitor now dead, just guaranteed that Drake was going to be uncontestable.
Come on, you quiz? Is that
yeah, I think you're actually as famous as Bill Gates.
Wow.
As Seismic Shove is going to push Canyon back towards Nongshim. He's driving away, able to use Duro here. And the Redemption even is going to come down just to keep him even more alive as Keen dives into the back line looking for a bit of an angle as the Tempered Fate to lock up Calyx momentarily. That was the decoy as Chovy finds the angle, takes down the Aurora, and is now just running amok, looking to destroy Nongshim. Canyon will catch on to Calyx. There's the Impale, another great shove to be perfectly honest. But it won't actually do anything as Juve is going to be left alive, but not for very long. As look at the damage Ruler's doing. That's going to be the ace, and Gen.G will close out game one. A weird one, but in the end, it just didn't really feel like it was going to go any other way.
Look at the draft here of Nongshim, and I think if you get through the early game pretty well, it's a pretty good draft. It's very safe. The Ezreal pick into the Vi and the Renekton, you can do the aggressive laning pushes for, yeah. King and down flash, by the way, on the 2v1.
Okay.
And yeah, it did happen. Keen does not have teleport, and King will stay in the lane.
Yeah.
So that's you know.
So Gen.G's universe that they've created. I can't. Maybe we should talk to Nick and Dan about how this universe was created.
It's pretty terrifying. If he can get into this pit.
Yeah, does need that level 6 though. Unfortunately, doesn't have it just yet. As Canyon wants to be able to get at least one of these as Ace in the Hole comes through. Gio just making his way out though. Lahen's on vision. And the Cocoon is going to go wide. There's the Pop Blossom. He goes forward. Looks to try and take down the jungler. The heroic charge, the heroic entrance is fantastic. Gideon's dead. That is going to be one of the grubs over to Gen.G, but they've managed to get out of that turret.
By the way, the whole mid turret
is likely just dead as Canyon moves in. And this is just going to belong to Gen.G. Down it will go. The Dragon has just spawned. That is a location where Nongshim did have members on the Rift, but he'll be living his best life here towards the top side. Ruler is going to be able to claim these last couple of plates.
Yeah, this is the new thing with Gen.G where Chovy doesn't get all of the farm, they give a lot of the money to Ruler. It's kind of a newer trend. Like, watch that recent Corki game he played.
I mean, they're even on farm, but, like, Giu's 40 CS down.
Yeah. He is trying to be relevant in this game. Gideon is also trying to be relevant by starting a Dragon.
Yeah.
And Gen.G are not really near it, so I think he's going to get away with it.
Yep, Keen also just Spidey senses tingling just a little bit here, as there is a spider on his side of the Rift. Be done here for Ruler.
Okay, well, Keen, he's now the
public execution comes down, but the immediate taunt to come in. There's the Pop Blossom as well, as Lahens gets ulted here by Canyon. Not exactly an optimal target, but the heroic entrance is going to deny any follow-up. And now Calix is having to deal with the minions and Keen underneath this one. Canyon moving on over the flash forward, and Calix is able to take down the Croc. That's going to be a solo kill there for the Rise, and one back here for Nongshim. Feeling fantastic. Gideon moving on in as well. The two-man taunt is going to come through. There's Feats of Warfare, as it's the Nico that locks down the Rise to get some revenge here for Keen. Teleport in as Giu is trying to get some damage onto this outer turret. Isn't going to be able to finish that one off. The 2018 KT did a heck of a lot, where they picked Jinx and Caitlyn, and they just moved the Jinx and Caitlyn to kill these turrets. As Keen does have the Dominus, but once again it's his arch nemesis in Calix. As they get the vision, he does avoid that Q as he's looking to try and run this one out, but the Rune Prison is going to be there. And so that's a second death here for Keen.
You receive one Renekton. I receive...
Well, Lahens is not having a great time here as Capybara comes on through. There is the flash out from Lahens after he does come back down. And now we're going to get yet another charge. Yeah, but they did kill Keen. And there it is in a turret. Going to be picked up here most likely as this minion wave is conquering through.
So you receive one Renekton, I receive two inner turrets, and a flash.
Yes.
That is the cross map on the kill there that we did see.
Yeah.
I don't know if Nongshim should have taken it, but I think it might have been the best deal they could get. And this Rise is now isolated in the side lane, and I think he has some friends coming. Let's see if he can save him.
Cease and desist is going to come on through there, but the public execution is going to come down. Still they lose the Rise. True Shot Barrage does not a whole lot, but Canyon, the taunt defense from Chovy is so good. And there are no minions here. Duro's moving in. He was a Krug. That was cool. Bit of a Doran cosplay. You love to see that. And here's the real Crocodile. Pop Blossom's gigantic, as the heroic entrance is down on top of it. Chovy's at about 50 health, but that's pretty much all he needs. And the revenge from Keen is swift and destructive. Kingen trying to get in here to do his best Rich impression, but unfortunately, Gen.G are just too strong, and that's a clean ace here at 18.5 minutes as Chovy picks up 2,500 kills. Having the greatest Caitlyn game ever, where he spends the whole game just hitting turrets. And outside of that, no one's focused. He is possibly dead. Gideon's there to help him. Thankfully, it wasn't Lahens again, who may have just let him die. But instead, Gideon's there to save him, as there is a little bit of a catch, but the public execution is going to come down. Let's see whether Dura can protect the president, as Rule actually able to get out of the way of Gideon here. And Giu is able to finish him off. So the bottom lane's going to die. He had the slingshot.
Yeah.
For as much time as possible, which I respect.
I think this is Otacon.
Keen
nearby?
Still looking for a potential angle, as they will get some bounty gold by taking this one down. Still, that is a decent evacuation there. A cease and desist comes on through, but Canyon's in so much trouble. Gets so much health back, though, and Gideon eventually be able to lock it down, but the Winds of War will finish him off. Gen.G are very far ahead, ladies and gentlemen. That's a large reason why this looks so one-sided. So the Otacon going to Nongshim is still a big deal. Basically done here for Ruler, as well as we are hexgating around the Rift. Duro could be in a little bit of trouble here, as Ruler is also in massive trouble. There's a public execution to lock him down. They'll find themselves a whole bunch of extra money as Duro, he's not in this fight any longer. And Nongshim,
let's see if they can catch King in here. Does have flash, no ult.
It's still a big lead as Kingen, I don't know whether he's going to be able to get out of this one. Cease and desist is just going to be employed King comes down. King going to get knocked up because there's a heroic entrance, and Chovy will be able to lock down the kill in the end. There's 5 caster minions here in this wave, as the True Shot Barrage sails over, but this inner turret is well and truly dead. I think that is every inner turret down, by the way. Yeah. Gen.G currently have 7 turrets forward, and you can see that's not where Gen.G are coming from. They are moving from behind. Cease and desist right out of nowhere. Heroic entrance just to make sure that they can't further engage the flash out. But the taunt is there to follow, and the Pop Blossom for the follow-up is so good out of Gen.G. Over the wall they go, as Lahens does dash cannon his way out. That is going to be a teleport away from the Ambessa. Kingen is able to keep himself alive, but with Gio and Gideon down, that will be soul point going over to Gen.G, and even Lahens will be cut down where he stands.
So Atlas, do you remember when I was talking about in the previous game where I was like, oh, Nongshim had Prio, they didn't go for the Baron, like they had the angle, maybe they had the turn angle with the Wukong.
It was probably, I think it was played just really well by Duro more than anything else, but still a little bit rough here.
It did make the fight less confusing for a moment.
Public execution onto Chovy, as the rest of Gen.G are right here, and so I don't think Kingen wants to go any further. Still has done a fair bit of damage, but he's 2 levels down, man. The taunt is going to connect, cease and desist comes on through, and they just wail on the Ambessa. Down she goes. A lot of damage onto Lahens, as well as the flash out from Canyon is not going to be successful. Keen with the Dominus running, but the Pop Blossom connects onto 3 into the back line as Chovy goes forward and goes golden. Still Duro is going to fall, as Ruler with the ace in the hole. Gio actually going to soak that one for Lahens, teaching him what to do next time, most likely.
Last game, TP for Chovy. After the back, he can return right away. Lahens
the flash. Okay. Crocodile better than Spider, as it turns out. There is now a control ward in the Baron pit. Teleport to come forward as Gen.G wanting to stop this from going down, but the Realm Warp gets Nongshim out of there!
The heist himself to try to see if there's anyone coming in to contest this, as in live!
Okay, cease and desist comes down yet again. The heroic entrance going to be eaten there by the by the Zhonya's, but ultimately doesn't really do too much of anything at all. So Calyx is just dead.
Gen.G off the dragon. This is one way to wrestle Prio away when you don't have any.
Well, Chovy and Ruler are looking to come in here as the ace in the hole comes down. Gideon going to soak that one, but he's not too happy about it, as there is the public execution. Kingen gets into the backline, but his targets just get evacuated. Gideon now in trouble as Chovy is their target, but he's able to justicely punch his way out. And Duro splitting the shapes.
Gio has so much power in these moments. He has flash as well with his E, so it's hard to engage on him, and he can follow up from such a distance. Gideon trying to start this dragon up as Gio offers damage. I just don't know about this.
Yeah, Duro is trying to spot this one out as Lahens gets caught yet again. Goes up into the sky as Kingen now able to get himself out, but unfortunately Rule is able to shut down the Spider Lady, and now Nongshim looking for the turn. Gideon in amongst it, but nobody else is really there as Duro trying to fight off this dragon, and it's not quite working, and Canyon flashes to get himself the Hextech Soul, and now we get to witness Caitlyn and Hextech Soul. And ladies and gentlemen, that is not something you want to be going up against, as Gio gonna have all of his Qs avoided, apart from that one. But everything else is gonna go wide, as there is the net over the wall, and Ruler locks down the ace and the Hextech Soul. And I think Gen.G are just going to wander up this bottom lane and look to finish the game.
It wasn't clean. It wasn't clean, but Gen.G, once again, dominant win here, and they'll take the 2-0. Definitely some fun to be had. Definitely an extremely dominant early game. Those some fun times to be had in the mid-game.
Yeah.
But extremely dominant early game, and now the last to fall.
Oh dear.
The first to fall in the previous fight. Lahens is dead, the turrets are dead, and Gen.G, another day in the office in the Legend group, another 2-0.
And
they're
25-0 against Nongshim now as well.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.